Shabbat Shalom. The week before Rabbi Feivel and I got married, the great Rabbi Ed Feinstein pulled us aside after his homiletics class and made us promise that he would not see us in school the next week. He wanted to make sure that we really had time to meditate on the difference between our relationship during those 4 years of dating and our relationship as husband and wife. He wanted to make sure that we spent some time away from the business of our everyday lives to figure out the future beyond wedding planning and hopefully to enjoy each other's company, distraction-free. Rabbi Feinstein's concern for the well-being of Feivel's and my new marriage came not just from a place of compassion, but also from the Torah itself. Among the many mitzvot of the parsha with the most mitzvot of any in Torah, Parshat Ki Teitzei, God commands the people Israel through Moshe. Ki yikach ish isha charasha lo yeitzei batzava velo ya'avor alav lechol davar naki hiye lebeito shana echat v'simach et ishto asher lakach. When a man marries a new wife, he may not go out to the army, and he may not do any labor that benefits the military in any way. He must be free and clear for his house for 1 year, and he must make the wife he has married happy. According to the Torah, the Talmud, and later commentators, when a couple marries, the man may not participate in the military, whether on the field of battle or in the kitchen, preparing food for the troops, for a full year of marriage. Even with today's, thankfully, more egalitarian view of marriage, that initial stage of marriage requires a special sort of conscious presence, of isolation from the threats of distance and danger. What is so crucial about this initial first year of marriage, the 15th century Portuguese commentator Yitzchak Abarvanel asks and answers, using the words of the biblical verse as his guide. First, naki hiye lebeito. He should be free and clear, or literally clean, for his house. While the biblical text often uses house as a euphemism for wife, Abarvanel highlights the literal meaning of house. If the man was away, when would the couple find time to build a house? In modern terms, when would the couple find time to figure out who buys the groceries and who takes out the trash? When would they decide whether this living arrangement was temporary, whether it would be worth a remodel, or whether they want to move onward and upward? And of course, when would they have time to organize the mountains of paperwork that come with a new marriage? Name changes, finances, thank you notes, and beyond. The permanence of that transition from me to us can be a huge shift, not just practically but emotionally, knowing that this space, perhaps even this name or these finances, no longer just belong to me, but to us. Abarvanel continues with the next part of the verse. V'simach et ishto asher lakach. And he must make the wife he has married happy. In addition to setting aside the first year for practical reasons, that first year must also be set aside so that the couple can enjoy one another's presence. Without the pressure of having to convince the other partner that this relationship is forever, it can be all too easy to put other priorities in front of a new marriage. It can be all too easy to fill the schedule with work, friends, and family. And yet, the two loving partners in the relationship hold important roles for one another, as cheerleaders, as consolers, comforters, and entertainers. These individuals depend on one another to build each other up so that they can wake up each morning and be reminded of their worth, of their ability to try another day of repairing the world as their unique selves. As with any other habit, setting aside time for one another takes practice. If that habit isn't developed in the first year, it gets harder to develop later on. In words that still ring true 600 years later, Abarvanel also reminds the reader that if the couple is planning to have children, this may be the last year in which they have any other control over the time that they spend together. Of course, we live in a different world than Moshe Rabbeinu or Yitzchak Abarvanel. Often when a couple gets married today, they've already lived together for years. They already have a rhythm together. Regardless of how long a couple has been together, even how long a couple has been married, we can and must still preserve some part of the Torah's idea of that sacred first year of marriage. We can and must still prioritize setting aside time and space just for two, away from family and friends, so that we can strategize the short-term and the long-term aspects of building and maintaining a home. We have to prioritize time away from phones and other distractions to comfort and to celebrate one another, to make more joyous memories, to sustain us in every experience and relationship to come. Through regular date nights, rules about what topics need to vacate the dinner table, or even just errands that are run together, we maintain the sense of safety and care that make a house feel like a home, that make a partnership feel like a marriage. Throughout Jewish marriage liturgy, Adam and Eve are mentioned in the Garden of Eden, their first home together. Adam and Eve, created as Ezrim Kenegdo, as helpers for and against one another, do not live in the paradise of Eden for very long. But after they're kicked out of the garden, as a result of a classic case of he said, she said, they still maintain their memories of living together in simple perfection. Perhaps it's those memories that keep them going in their strange and often tragic new world, that keep them so attracted to one another and so hungry for life that despite everything, they birth Cain, Abel, and later even Seth. Although the honeymoon period itself does not always last long, the memory of it, along with the memory of whatever spark started the loving relationship in the first place, still serve as rubrics today to return to again and again for hope, for laughter, and for building and rebuilding a home. Shabbat Shalom. We now